Hey, how's it going? It's Ollie here. So in this video, we're going to figure out how to build your luxury retirement with an Amazon business. So what is a luxury retirement? Well, it means that for the rest of your life, from once you hit this goal until the end, right, you don't have to worry about finances. Okay, so your lifestyle is paid for very, very comfortably. Accommodation is covered. Right? Food is all covered. Medical bills are all covered. Everything you want is paid for without you having to do any more work. Right? So isn't that just a fantastic thing to aim for? Now you should be thinking about this no matter what age you are, right? I'm thinking about this, right? I'm 36. I'm thinking about a luxury retirement right now. Why not be able to retire next month? And if you are at retirement age, then obviously this is going to be more of a pressing issue naturally, right? But having this number in mind is the absolute key to making it happen. If you have the number and a plan to make it happen, there's a chance it'll happen. If you don't have a plan, you don't have a number, there's zero chance it'll ever happen, right? So let's break it down. What's the first thing we need to figure out? Well, the first thing we need to figure out, if we're going to plan for a luxury retirement, is what I call your cash flow number. Right? What is the number you need in annual income in order to cover everything and not have to worry about money? And if that money's coming in, you're sorted. Now, this number is still going to require you to do something active to make that money coming in. So I'm not talking now about completely passive income that you would get from investments, from rental properties, from stocks, that kind of thing. I'm talking about money that you actually make in order to live. So this would be closely tied to the profit from your Amazon business. We need to figure out this number first, because if we can get you there, then at least you are earning money independently from a job, right? And you don't have to worry about things like employment and that kind of thing. And you can leave the 9 to 5, which is a great initial step to get closer to preparing for retirement. So what is that number? Right? So how do you figure this out? Well, figure out where you want to live, how much you want in spending money, how much you want in money for saving on a monthly basis, right? And you probably do have a number in mind, but I would recommend, get a calculator, figure out your average expenditure every month, maybe get out the bank statements, figure out, do you have enough right now? Is it similar to what you're earning now? Or would it be a good idea to plan to have a little bit of extra, a little bit of fun money to make things easier? So let's assume you've done all this. You've got out the calculator, you've figured out how much money you need, right? And let's say that number's £5,000 a month, right? That would make your cash flow number around about £60,000 per year. Right? So now we know we need to get you £60,000 a year in annual profit extracted from the business in order to pay for your lifestyle. Now, once we've figured that out, that's our initial goal. That's where we want to get to. All right, now, my experience, launching a handful of products can get you to £60,000 per year. All right, and we're going to talk about that process in a couple seconds and how to get the products launched so you can hit that initial milestone as soon as physically possible, ideally in your first year selling on Amazon. But before we dive into the technical details and the nitty-gritty on how to do that, let's think a little bigger now. So we've planned for cash flow and earning an income, but really, if you want to retire comfortably, you don't want to be earning anything. You want to be not working and not doing much. So we need a different number for that. Once you've hit your initial cash flow number, I should be thinking bigger. So the next thing we want to do is think about what I call your exit number. Right? This is an amount you would need in cash to be able to pay for the rest of your life, right? So it's pretty simple to actually figure this out. You take 90, which is the age we hope to live until, or pick a number, whatever age you hope to live until, pick that number, take away your current age, and multiply the remainder by your cash flow number. Right, so for me, for example, I'm 36. Right, so I'll take 90, and I'll go 90, take away 36, equals, what is that? 54. Right. If I multiply that by 60,000, which is my cash flow number, that will be 3.360 million. Okay. So 3.36 million. If someone gave me 3.36 million today, assuming obviously I have no cash to start with, right? If I go from 0 to 3.36 million, I can pay for the rest of my life. Right, in terms of cash flow. Now, this is a simplified version of the number. We're not thinking about things like inflation and cost of living increasing over time and all that kind of thing for now. And there's a good reason for that. Because we're not actually going to be spending this money. Right, when we're thinking about our exit number, we want to sell our business for this number. And that will give us plenty of surplus for when we invest this cash and then spend the interest, right? So if we were to put 3.36 million into stocks and just withdraw 3% of the interest, assuming it makes, I don't know, an average of 6 to 8% per year on the stock market, if we just withdraw 3% of that every year, we'll be doing 6 figures in cash, right? Because that'll be 100,000 per year. Right? If we just withdraw 3% per year. So we've got plenty, and we don't even have to withdraw all that. We could just withdraw a lot less. We could withdraw half of that and be very, very, very comfortable. So the next question is, well, how on earth are we going to make 3.36 million? That's a big number. Right? Well, the answer is by exiting a company. So we want to now figure out, okay, well, in order to do that, how much profit will our company need to be making on a monthly basis for it to be valued at 3.36 million so we could sell it to an investor who would want to buy it? Now, it just so happens that there are tons of companies out there called Amazon aggregators who are looking to do just this. They're looking to buy Amazon businesses, right? They've raised something like 16 billion in order to buy 5, 10, 15, 20 Amazon businesses at once. They're looking for sellers like you, and they want to buy your company, right? So if we use a website like Empire Flippers, and we go down and we find a company that's doing kind of similar to what you want to do. So there's one here that's doing 6.9 million a year, and their monthly net profit is 127,000. Okay, now we don't know if the company's actually going to be sold for this. This is the price they want, right? But after due diligence, who knows? It might be lower, right? But let's just assume this is a good guess. Well, if we halve that, we pretty much get our figure, which is around 3.3 million. Obviously, it's a different currency, but for simple maths, let's just assume this is around what we want. So their monthly net profit is 127,000. Let's half it. Let's say we need 60,000 in order to sell our business for 3 million, and we're going to change it to pounds, of course. So now we have a goal. We know if we can make £60,000 a month in profit, our business will be valued at the number that pays for the rest of our life. So now what we need to do is build the business. And we need to figure out how many products we need to launch in order to make that amount of monthly profit. So an easy way to do this then, if we want to figure out how many products we want to launch, is assume you'll make 2k profit per product on average, right? If you've launched them properly, they're in high demand niches with not too much competition, etc. Take that monthly profit number you're aiming for, divide it by £2,000. Right? So in this case, we need to launch 30 products. Right? And, that might seem a little bit overwhelming, launching 30 products on Amazon. Why? Well, because you probably don't even have any products and you might not have any experience in the business. Or you might be watching this and going, okay, well, I've already got 10 and it's going okay, so I only need to do 20 more, but maybe they're not doing enough profit and there's other stuff I need to learn, and etc. Well, this is the thing. Right? We don't want to start with 30 products. We just need to start with one. Okay, so start your entire journey with one product. Now, no matter what you've done in the past, whether you've tried Amazon businesses before, whether you already have a business, whether you've tried other businesses and they didn't work, we're going to start again. And we're going to do this next product properly, right? And if you learn how to do this process properly, then get it selling, get the product up and running, right? Get the monthly profit coming in. All you have to do is rinse and repeat, right? Just keep doing more of the same thing, launching more and more and more products until you hit your goal. And the thing is, you have the number on the board. You know exactly what you need to make, right? It's just a case of continually launching products until you get there. So how do we do that? How do we launch that first product the right way? Well, it's simple. We need to follow the Smash Hit product radar. So what does that involve? Well, there's 4 elements on the Smash Hit product radar. If our product has these 4 things in the beginning, everything else is easier, is much more likely to succeed. So what are these 4 elements? Well, the first one is high demand. We want to see evidence that the product's selling well. We want to see other sellers that are making the kind of revenue you want to make. If they're doing it, you can do it too. Right, as simple as that. Right, because it proves customers like the product. The product's popular. Lots of different designs sell. So if you offer a new design to the marketplace, which is in some way better than what's already there, then some customers will choose yours. And you'll get a slice of that demand. If there's no demand, there's nothing to get a slice of. Or you can't have a slice of a pie if there's just crumbs in the pie dish, right? There has to be a pie. Okay? So in addition to that, we want low competition. We don't want, 1 billion people trying to get a slice of this pie and then there's none left for you, right? We want low numbers of established sellers, low options, alternative options for the customer. We want you to be a viable option from day one, right? So we want really not too many products with tons of reviews. 5 products with a lot of reviews is like plenty. Any more than that, it starts to get too competitive. Now, at the same time, we want the product to be low hassle, right? We probably don't want to be importing wheelbarrows from China, right? Logistical nightmare, too big and bulky to import, complicated to manufacture, right? Because they're just so big, and difficult to ship to the customer, right? So much logistics and storage and chaos. We want something small, right? Kitchen utensil sets, for example, perfect, small, fits in a shoebox, easy to import, easy to send to the customer, easy for the end user. They don't need an instruction manual and a phone call with tech support to get it to work. They open it up, they're happy, they leave a good review. That's what we want. Finally, we want there to be a gap in the market. Some way for you to improve on what's already there, so customers have a reason to actually buy your product rather than anyone else's, right? There's no point offering a product unless you found a way to improve, because we want to make yours the obvious choice. So I'm going to show you an example of a niche that has all of this. Maybe you can launch a product in this niche to get started. Wicker lampshade is the keyword. So I've typed it into Google, into Amazon, sorry, for product discovery. They're almost the same thing, right? Amazon and Google. And we're going to look at the statistics. So I'm using AMZ Scout to analyze this niche. We just want to have a quick overview, a quick look. So what do we have? We're looking at levels of demand, levels of competition, is it low hassle, and are there gaps in the market? So starting with demand, well, what do we have? Well, this seller's making £10,404 every month selling the product. So, people are making more than 10k with this niche, which shows us that there's demand. People want to buy wicker lampshades, right? I mean, they sell, right? And there's lots of sellers doing well, which means that it's a very popular product. So it definitely has high demand. What about competition? We're going to look at the reviews and see how many sellers are established. How many sellers have got tons of reviews? Well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is perfect. We don't really want too many more than 5. If there's like 6 or 7, it could be okay. But if there's like 10, 20 sellers with like thousands of reviews, naturally customers will gravitate to those sellers because their products are proven, right? And they get more trust. So there's only 5 established sellers. Looks quite promising. What about low hassle? Is it easy to sell? Well, it's a wicker lampshade. It's not a wheelbarrow. It can be flattened and, wrapped in plastic or whatever. And you can stack up hundreds of them and put them in a box to ship over from China, and they're easy to send to the customer. So yes, they are very easy to send. Now, you can always verify this by going to one of the listings and just looking at the dimensions. Is it small? Is it light? All right, but we know it's not going to be too bad. I mean, they're like 10 inches wide or 25 centimeters. Not overly big. Sometimes on the listing you'll get the weight, right? But I'd assume it's like under a kilogram each, way under a kilogram, and therefore quite easy to ship to the customer. Finally, so low hassle looks good. What about a gap in the market? Is there something materially wrong with the best-selling product? This can always be a good indicator that there's a gap. So let's pick one. I'm going to choose this one. And we're going to see, are there any negative reviews? Is there things we can improve on? This person's given a 3-star review with absolutely zero context, which is very unhelpful. A little overpriced, this person says. Nice quality. Looks as advertised, very nice. They're all relatively happy. I mean, this lampshade doesn't happen to have that many reviews in general. Let's pick another one. Can we find something to improve on? Often if you look at the listings with more reviews, you're more likely to find some criticism and some ideas of stuff to improve. So 1 stars are really helpful for this. Not very good, didn't fit our bulb. Okay, well there we go. There's a way we can improve. Make sure it's compatible with certain types of bulbs. Not every lampshade will fit every bulb. So, this seller's offering a lampshade for bulb A. You could offer a lampshade for bulb B, for example, and you've got a way to add value to the market for people who need that. Too small for my use. Great. That means you could offer a bigger one. Very small, looks bigger on the picture. Again, so we've got a bit of a theme here, right? The size is wrong. Cheap, right? Obviously, Kane, this customer, was very passionate about getting a lampshade that looks expensive, that looks luxurious, and naturally they're going to be annoyed if it arrives and it looks cheap. So, we are so spoiled as retailers nowadays, as e-commerce business owners, as marketers, because everybody projectile vomits all of their opinions on the internet. So we know what they're thinking. It's so helpful. So all you have to do is offer a lampshade that actually looks expensive and luxurious, sell it for around the same price, and you're going to get the sale rather than this seller on Amazon. Didn't come with rope. Another one. Again, didn't come with rope. Maybe sell something that does come with rope. This person says it stinks, right? Offer something that doesn't stink. You can see the theme here. There are gaps in the marketplace. There are ways to improve. Now, one thing you can do when you're offering a product is order what's on the market now. So go to this product, FabFind store, pay £40, get it sent to your house just to see what the customers actually mean. Does it stink? Right? Does it look luxurious? Does it look cheap? Is it small? Does it fit certain bulbs and not fit other bulbs? This is some of the best product research you can do before launching your product on Amazon. So, hope this has been helpful. If you do want some help launching your product on Amazon, there's a link in the description. Click on it. We can book a call together. I can help you research your product. If we're a fit, we can launch it together and get it to sell on Amazon. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it's been helpful. Hope it gives you an overview and some inspiration about how you can hit your retirement goals selling on Amazon. Click the link in the description, book a call. We'll talk about your goals. We'll talk about how things are now, where you're starting from. We'll talk about things you might need help with along the way to hit the goal. And then, if we're a fit, we can talk about how it looks like to work together. Thanks so much for watching this video. Subscribe, hit like, watch some more videos if you want more help. Also, let me know in the comments what other areas you might want help with the Amazon business, and I'll make some more videos about those. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you soon.